Right, welcome back everybody. We're back in the polytunnel now, working on the Piaggio NRG today. What we're going to be looking at is, remember in the last video, I couldn't fit the HT lead because the boots were knackered on them. So I've actually been and got some new parts to get the HT lead sorted out. And what else I want to do is I want to get the exhaust off, wire wheeled, sandblasted, whatever we need to do with that, and then we'll get a bit of heat resistant paint on that just to make it, get it looking a bit smart again. So let's get started. Right then, so as I mentioned, I've been and got a bit of new flex for the HT lead and a new NGK boot, and that will fit on there perfect now. That's got a good fit on that. So the way you actually make these plugs up is, if you can just see in there, there's actually like a little screw thread, and you actually just screw your cable into it and just wind it in, and that gets a grip on it. So just wind it until you're at the back. That's it, it won't go no more. So that's that done now. And you do the same on your CDI unit. I should have took this off really. Let me take that off. I'm being lazy now. Just whiz that off. There's only one bolt on there anyway, so you can tell someone has been on here before. And it's the same scenario. It just has a screw in there, and you just do the same again. Just screw it on. There we go. That's got a good fix on there, so we can put that back on there. Just like that. Don't forget to put your earth strap on behind it. I'll just whiz that up. And that will just go on there like that. I could have made that a bit shorter. I still may do that in a bit, but I just wanted to show you how it all goes together. And I got this from a friend of mine from Oliver's Motorcycles, and that's in Sleaford, Lincolnshire. And if I'll leave a link to that down below for Oliver's website. He does new bikes, used bikes. He has an in-store shop. They do CBT training, mod 1 and 2. They do direct access. There's a whole load of stuff that they do on there. It's like a one-stop sort of shop. So there's his card there with his name and number on it. I say there will be a link down below for Oliver's shop. I don't think they do online shipping for clothes and helmet and stuff, but I reckon if you did want a bike on that from their website, I think they can get that shipped out to you. So yeah, I mean, fantastic little shop that. You get a great banter when you go down there. It's a good laugh going down there. You get a lot of bikes down there meeting up outside. So he does, as I say, he does new and used bikes, trade-ins, whatever you want. He does do finance as well for new bikes and used bikes. So I say, anyone that's local, pop down there, say hello. And if you're not local, check the website out, because there might be something on there that you want, and he'll come up with a deal. He'll always look after you. Right then, so now with that HT lead on, what I want to do try is I bought a brand new battery. So I just want to try the battery on it, because I say it did come with a battery on it, but it was totally flat. So I just want to make sure that all the electric start works and all that. So I'm going to put the battery on, but before I put the battery on, I just need to plug this side in quickly for the electric start. So let me just quickly plug this in and I'll be back with you. Right, so I've just plugged the electric starter motor bit back in, the switch, and I'm just going to go ahead now and just connect up the battery. But I've just done all this, and I've remembered the keys are at home for it, so we're not going to be starting it today. Oh dear, there's always something, isn't there? I normally leave the key in the ignition. Well, that's put a stop to that, so what we'll do now is we'll get the exhaust off. Right then, so I'll do my best to show you in there. There's actually one Allen bolt on here and one 10mm bolt, so we'll just unwind that. It's coming out nice and easy. I did soak these about half hour ago as well, so just get a bit of penetrating fluid on it. So that's that one out. And this one, I say you can get a 10mm socket on that. There we go. It's nice for them just to come out. Normally you can be a bit seized, these bolts. And then we'll go around the other side and we'll take the mounting bracket off. Not sure what size they are yet. I know this has been off this exhaust before because it's actually not the standard exhaust, it's a sports exhaust on it. Right, I'm a bit tight for space here, so I don't know if you can see this. Drop that down. Gasket is non-existent, so we'll have to get a gasket for this. Right, let's get this in the log cabin. Right then, welcome back everybody. After that little bit of sandblasting there, I'll just show you what we've come up with. There is a couple of little holes in it that need to be addressed. We've got a hole there and a hole there, so we will just plate that up. And there was also a hole down here, which when I see that hole there, there was this actual restrictor in there. So they normally have a couple of dot welds on there. You can see the welds on there, on the edge there, but they had broken loose, so we've just took the restrictor out, so it will be de-restricted now, this exhaust. I've had all the baffle apart, I've cleaned all that, got all the oil out of there, so that should be good. We got the exhaust, the wadding. I think my dad might have some new wadding, so hopefully we can put a bit of new wadding in there. I've given the old can a bit of a polish up. I mean, it is a bit beyond it, but it'll tidy it up better than it was. So it's not a restoration, this scooter, it's just a quick out job. So I ain't going too mad on this. I'll get a bit of heat paint on the exhaust, but first of all I need to get the welder out and we'll get the old man in to do a bit of welding, because it's only thin metal this, so if I'm going to have a practice I don't want to be practicing on this because I might make it worse than it already is. So let me get the welder sorted out and we'll be back with you. Right then, as you can see there, we've had a nice patch solidly welded on there. We've filled, there's a little hole there, we've done that, and we've also heat wrapped this as well, just to give it a bit of added protection to keep the heat from the engine. So what we're going to do now is we'll give this a paint of some high temperature matte black. Once we'll leave that to dry for an hour or so, and then we'll come back and we'll fit the end can on, and hopefully we'll be able to get it back on the bike. So let me get this hung up and we'll do a bit of painting. Right then, as you can see, we've got a nice coat on there now, and that will dry matte black. There we go. That, I don't know if you can see that because of the light, but that's fantastic. That, so it looks a bit speckly at the minute, I say, because it's in the middle of drying. So once it's dry, it should get a finish like that, really, a nice matte finish. So we'll leave that to dry. I did manage to find a gasket, so that was a spare one my dad had from the TGB, so that's really handy. We can use that. Hopefully we'll get this exhaust back on today. Right then, so the exhaust has dried off now. I've put the end can back together, so we can just bolt that back on there like that. And just get your 3 bolts. And we're nearly there now to get it put back on the old bike. And I've just fetched the keys from home, so we'll be able to see if we can get it running. I just nipped over while this paint was drying. So that's that. And then we've got our bracket. That's it. And there we go. So that's that back on. So that exhaust looks 100 times better than it did from when we started. So we'll head back out into the polytunnel now, and we'll get this gasket fitted on to there, and we'll get it back on the bike, and we'll see if we can go for the start-up. Right then, so you'll have to bear with me because my mum's got the lawnmower going out there. But as you can see, that's all that was left of the old gasket, so it's really going to be improved with that one. Right, so I've got that bolt there just to pull the exhaust up to make it a bit easier for myself. So I'll get that on tighten. Then we can start to wind that in. You don't want to go too mad with these exhaust bolts. Last thing you want to do is strip the threads. That'll do for that one. And then this one is the 10mm. Right, and as you can see, that's fully done up now. And that wrap just makes a nice job of it, and it keeps the heat away. As you can see, the exhaust don't look too bad. It's a lot better than what it was when we started. Right then, as you can see, I've got the bike running. You have to bear with me with the rattle, so it's all the tools vibrating on the table, but it sounds lovely and quiet. That there's no blowing on that exhaust at all. But the electric start wasn't working, so I don't know. This battery might need a charge because there's no juice in it, I don't think. So I have to get that on charge, and we'll have a look at the electrics another day. Right, that's it. So I'm going to leave it here for this little video. So we've got the actual bike running again. The exhaust has been stripped and painted, had a patch on it. It looks fantastic. We've got a new HT lead on, thanks to Oliver's Motorcycle Sleaford. I say link will be down below for the website. Go over and check them out, see what stock they got. There might be something you like. So anyway, I'm going to leave it here, and until next time, we'll see you about.